Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. So, welcome to another stream of the Routemaster. If you were on Discord, you saw that the bus had a little accident. It's laying on its side right now. That was actually so that I could get all the wires put together and get the side panel on. So, for stage 97, I'm actually halfway through it. Let me go ahead and switch the camera. And I left the lights off on purpose because now you can see inside and the beautiful Disney people. Hey, Kenneth, welcome. Welcome, Eric. Welcome, Donnie. And Todd is hiding in the background somewhere, as well as his roommate Aaron was there a couple minutes ago. But you can see the Disney figures inside. And the lights up on the top currently are not connected because let's see, let me move that off. Yeah. Disney, huh, Eric? Oh, that's even in the way still. But this wire here connects to this wire here, and it's not long enough, even with the jumper. And actually, Dave mentioned this a long time ago. This jumper, I may replace the jumper that I made inside for D, because that way I'll cut out about 3 inches of wire that's already in there. So let me turn on the lights so you can see. And let's turn, nope, wrong one. That one off so it's not such a bad glare. And so earlier today, what I did was I tidied up the wires here. Turn off the power supply, disconnect it from the bus. I ran all the wires up inside there, got them cleaned up, used a couple of, if Ian was here, it would make him very sad, zip ties. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate that. Used a couple of zip ties to get it in here. This is not permanently where it's going to be yet, the power supply. And these wires have still got to go up the side. But all the lights are currently connected. So let me grab the screwdriver, rotate the camera a little bit so it's not on that blinding light quite so much, and get the 8 screws that go into the plastic, and then we'll flip the bus upside right and go from there. I will tell you, it was tricky to get these might be playing fun too. It was tricky to get the top and the bottom in at the same time. This one kept not wanting to go in. I eventually was able to get it to actually seat. That should be, yeah. There's hundreds of screws in this thing, so if a couple don't match up, it's not going to be the end of the world. That one is not catching. And for anybody who's curious, the bus is not laying actually on its side. It has a mat underneath it. I wonder if that's just the wrong screw there. Because I can see the hole is lined up. I think it caught. It's stage 14 on your Eagle Moss Ghostbuster Ecto 1. Very awesome. I am still waiting. Are you talking stage 14 or pack 14? Because that was the one that I was waiting on, is pack 14. Hopefully they will soon start sending them out again. That should be, my understanding, in June. That's better. That one caught. That one's caught. These two just do not want to seem to latch in. Oops. And I'm running across the painted metal die cast with the screwdriver. But that's okay because that will be covered up. That's better. That one's actually in now. This one's still not playing nice. Maybe I should have done this earlier.
Kenneth says he made it to stage 14 on his Ecto 1. Good for you, buddy. It's on his vacation day. How many stages do you have, Kenneth, to build?
Not enough. That's what all of us say
Right
now. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Okay. There's number 5. It was kind of funny when I set these screws up. I actually just grabbed them and they grabbed them with a magnet. And when I set them in the tin dish there, I dropped them from the magnet and there was exactly 8. One last one on this, or 2 last screws on this side. This is actually the last piece of the framework for the bus. I will warn you. I'll warn you guys, it might get a little bit boring because the next, I said it on Discord, the next several issues, like all of them to the end now, is all going to be panels and screws. Ugh. Little bit.
We like hearing you make all your noises.
Huh?
We like to hear you make all your noises.
Oh, my old man noises?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, of course, I left them across the room. Let me double check. Okay. I was thinking I was working on 97, but I'm working on stage 98. Have to be careful when all the blades are just thrown in the drawer. Blades out. Kind of like a movie, you know? Knives out.
Yeah. Why not?
So I'll open that. Now that I've no longer got windows there, they're going to glare. I can turn on that middle light. And instead of putting these away in the screw container, I'm just going to put them in one of the little tin plate. But looking at this right here, it looks like there are such bad rub marks on the thing. But oh, there are some rub marks on there. Grumpy. I get grumpy a little bit. Let me see. Okay, they're not too bad once I wipe it off. It's more dust than anything.
It's an old bus. Okay.
But it's not. It's brand new. You know, it's the old standard when you get a new car. It's an old car, but it's new to you.
That's right. Kenneth says he's on issue 5, stage 14. How many issues do you have?
Wow, it's actually picking up dust. And these strips actually are not put in here in this issue. They're put in on the next issue.
Are we doing that issue?
Yes.
Excellent.
Right now I'm planning on 2, maybe 3, depending on how long this takes. You know, how long it takes to put in 483 screws.
Will, we're here to slow you down.
Exactly. And if I keep misplacing the screwdriver, it'll slow me down even more. Switch the bit. A little bit of oil on there. Mess with the camera a little bit, try and get this in screen.
Your little tin of screws looks like a bunch of ants.
There. And you can see right there that one spot where the paint chipped last time.
Tamiya X7.
Yep.
I remember.
I actually put it in my cart in Amazon.
You didn't already have some? That's shocking.
I didn't look yet, actually. I might actually just put some, because I've got like 43 bottles of the little tester, the little square. Yeah, that's not good.
That's not a good sound.
Well, I half flipped the little tin with the screws in it. That would be bad. I have lost all the screws.
If you do, then the screws will be over there, over there, over there.
Uh-huh. Fortunately, unlike the night I dropped all the windows for the Enterprise, the screws are magnetic.
Kenneth says he's up to issues 5, stage 14. Still have 5 through issues 9, stage 27. Aw, and he says Buck's not old. He's just wise.
Oh,
that's nice.
Well, you saw my prediction for Eric for the spring, right?
No, I was in training all morning, so I didn't really see Discord.
I put on Discord that today's the first day of spring, except for Eric. Eric gets 3 more months of winter.
Isn't it winter all the time at his place?
It is. I think it gets warmer up by Gilly than it does up by Eric. Gilly's further north.
He's like in a polar vortex. Hey, Christina's here. Say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. Let me kill this heater. It was off earlier. I turned it on because it was a little bit chilly in here. That's the good time of the year when the heater has to be turned off.
Ooh,
Sir Dave. Welcome.
Dave's here too. Now you can't make any mistakes. He's watching.
I can make all the mistakes I want.
Eric says he's getting over 5 inches of snow tonight. Ugh.
I know.
What's wrong with him?
His wife posted actually on Facebook about that. Oh, that is the right screwdriver. For Chris and Dave, you're going to want to go back and see that I actually put the side of the bus on. I didn't do it on camera. I did it before I started. This needs to go down further. Even though it's more convenient up here, I keep bumping it and trying to launch screws everywhere.
It's the Buck way of doing things.
Exactly.
If it don't work,
Just
Buck up.
exactly.
Hi, Christine.
So I'm going to be a rebel. Put this one in first, if I can find it. I'm going to leave it halfway in because I think I need to have the screws pull the rest of the roof down. This is going on a little bit easier than the front panel did. The camera's not liking the red. I don't know if you can see
It
that.
has no idea what to focus on. If you left something on top that was contrasty, it would use that. Just put a little
Like
piece
my
of,
hand.
yeah, like your hand or a little piece of blue tape or something. You have a little piece of painter's tape you can throw on there.
I could put Goofy on there.
I'm sure that would do.
And Eric might just throw up then. Ah, come on. Yeah, I had to put those other two screws in before that one would go. I could also do this. Move the camera. Yeah, I think after tonight, I'm going to look at the stages, and I will probably start next week live streaming Iron Man instead.
Is that to give yourself a little bit of buffer?
Well, what I'm thinking is I'm gonna video it, but I'm gonna do like Wayne did and video. This is what I'm gonna do. Dreaded issue 73. I want to know what went on with issue 73.
Right. Dave says you only have 1,500 screws to go.
That's all. Yeah.
And Christine says we've been doing the dreaded issue 73 of the Eddie Stobart. No way I could have done it live. What did you have to build in issue 73? I did not see. Don't tell me hoses, because the hoses on the Knight Rider one would give me a heart attack.
Yes. Todd's been hosed here lately.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I'm going to do videos and probably do a pack at a time. Maybe I don't know if I want to do a full hour like Wayne did, which equated probably to 6 hours of his time doing all the screws and then showing the next batch.
Well, another thing, he also has to deal with multi-camera. Like if you're going to record all those cameras at the same time and then try to sync them all back up, which
Oh yeah. It's kind of funny as I go into the oil, it's small enough I don't think the camera will pick it up. Maybe. No, it's not going to pick it up because it's not focusing very well. But there's the chip of paint that's missing from the roof of the bus is in the oil.
Well, at least you didn't lose it. You should super glue it back on.
Exactly. Of course, if I do a decal or such, cut something out with using the Cricut, I could just cover that spot up. Don't need the oil to fall. Come on. Yeah, that's not good. Just the right angle on there, hopefully. Did you see what Chris said?
See, told you every time.
I know. Well, it's like I don't remember if you were on the stream or if you saw it when I was putting the initially putting the top on. The two wires in the cab, as details, kept getting in the way, and I was like, "They're black wires and a black cab. You're never going to see that they're not there," and took them out. Now, if Donnie's if Donnie's watching, I expect to see a thing that says, "You'll know they're not there."
Kenneth says, what about the Ghostbusters build? Not nearly as many hoses.
Yeah, there weren't very many on that at all. There were a couple. I remember the brake hoses on the Ghostbuster. That sucked. The ones that ran all the way to the back.
Yeah.
Those ones got to be a pain in the butt sometimes. Oh, Donnie, you're awesome. Very cool. Oh, you weren't on Discord, so Eric has started the part work again.
I heard that.
He's going to be working on Eleanor.
He's going to be back at it. Good for him.
Yep.
It'd be good for him.
Actually, it is. Okay, and these two, it says to hold those for the next issue. Because what they do is they stretch across the, I believe they stretch, let me do it on this side. They stretch along this panel all the way and out to here on the next panel. So let me get that one. Issue 99.
How many issues are there?
120.
120.
Which means there's 20 issues of nothing but panels. Is it bad that I'm not even looking at the instructions at this point? So the screws, actually, without the light glaring on that, almost looks like a bunch of red ants in there.
That's what I said. When you had it sit on top, like it looks like a bunch of little ants in a cup.
Ah.
Kenneth says he wants to start the Eleanor after he finishes Ecto 1. You know what? The Eleanor is a fantastic first build. If anybody's never done part work before, the Eleanor is great. Because a lot of this stuff it's not super complicated. It's a lot of push and fit and simple stuff, and things are pre-painted and simple parts. It's not crazy. It's a good build if we ever finish it.
Okay, so looking at the instructions, apparently it's not because it stretches across the next panel. It must be because there were not enough screws at that time. Find the right light to turn on over here. That panel's just facing, or that light panel's facing the wrong way. That camera, which is currently not facing the right way. I just killed something over there. Let me see if I can move the mouse.
Hi, Buck. How are you?
Hi. Stay. By the way, when it was on its side, Flower here, the light wasn't on. Didn't realize that was where Flower was. I looked up and saw him on the camera, and I was like, that would be really eerie if I didn't know he was already in there, because he looks just so different. So this one is supposed to be.
Isn't Flower a girl?
No, Flower is a boy.
Oh.
Don't you remember when they got all Twitter pated?
No.
When they got Twitter pated, Flower got just as Twitter pated as everybody else, or as all the others.
Donnie says earthquake. It did kind of feel like that, didn't it? Eric's probably watching this in his chair. We should have rumbled his chair while we were doing it. Got his feet up on the big screen.
Yeah. So I'm just looking. Note the one end of the strip is slightly angled at the end, should be towards the front of the model. Actually, I've got the wrong side. Either I've got the wrong side or I put this strip on there in the front wrong last week. Sorry for the loud bang. It looks like the screw holes will all line up. So I'm going for it. I read Kenneth's comment.
Always a supporter. I love it.
Yep.
How many likes we got? Oh my God. No likes at all?
Nobody likes me.
Jeez. I put a like up there.
Is it wrong that later on I'll go and put a like on there too?
Hey, you can like your own videos. It's your video, remember? You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, Kenneth just said that, didn't he?
Yep.
Come on.
Kenneth says, I'm sure it'll be a lot easier than the Eagle. Yes, the Eleanor is probably the easiest of all the builds I've ever done.
The DeLorean got exciting when you were putting the body on it.
Ugh. Yeah, that's a whole nother monster.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of the things that you do on that, the details in the engine and everything else, never going to see them again.
No, I didn't know it. I mean, the DeLorean was my first part work, and I didn't know that we were going to cover up the engine bay with a bunch of junk that you'll never be able to get to again, because you got to take the whole reactor deck off to open the engine compartment. I would have never detailed that engine.
But you got Ian to detail his too.
Well,
so there's the problem.
He just followed my build site. Kenneth, are you using my build site for the Ecto one? Dave says, I liked it. Always do.
Now, I'm wondering I could end up doing only these 2 stages, might not make it to the 3rd one like I was thinking about, because I think I might have the talking to myself, I'm looking at the screw holes and they're not lining up very well.
Just some flex.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, and I loosened the screws that I had put in already. Yeah, see, and the flex, the bad part is the flex that you got to do is not up and down, it's back and forth on the bus.
Like front to back?
Yes.
How in the world are you supposed to make that line up?
Brute force. I used to work on $40 million airplanes. I know how to make things. I know how to stretch metal.
God, I'm glad you're not a commercial airline mechanic. If it don't work, force it.
By the way, I will tell you right now, commercial airlines fly with things the military never will.
Don't tell me that.
I've been on I've been on a 140 before, and my wife doesn't know anything at all about airplanes, but there was rust on the tail of this airplane. And she's like, "You came home in that?" And I'm like, "Yep." But I felt more confident in that airplane than I do in most civilian airplanes.
Kenneth says, anytime you and Todd and Eric does a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Oh, could you imagine having double producers? Can you imagine if Eric was in here? Oh, there'd be so much going on.
This just almost doesn't look right because it's popping up here in the back. Just out of curiosity, how close are these? You know what? I think I've got the wrong strip on here, which means I've got to take the front one off as well.
The one we put on last stream?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Are they numbered like those side panels were, or is it just...
They are, but I don't see anything in the instructions that tells you which one goes on which.
Gotcha.
Actually, you know what? It's not in the instructions. It's going to say up in the identification. Oh, yay. You got 98B side strip marked A190, 98C side strip marked A190M. Doesn't tell you left or right.
Oh, I meant to do this one first. Kenneth says using the online instruction to build it. If you send me a link.
Yep.
Yes, I did. So there's a link to my build site. Stage by stage, picture by picture, step by step, the whole way.
I can't wait to see you build the Falcon if it ever comes out.
I think I would. Everybody keeps saying it's such a fun build.
And that screw just pinged off into infinity and beyond.
Well, I think Mark said you're going to get 1 million of them, so you don't worry about that, do you?
Nope.
Gordon's here. Say hi, Gordon.
Hi, Gordon. You know, if this goes on without any problem, I'm not going to worry that the front one's upside down because it'll fit.
Can't you just reverse the other ones? I mean, all the way around even.
Well, that's what I'm saying is it's got a slight angle on the very end. Yep, it was the wrong one. It's got a slight angle on here, but it's not going to be that big a difference. I mean, you see the slight angle?
Yeah.
If that's crossing underneath the piece in the front, the only way you're going to notice it is if you get right up on top of it, which Eric would.
But it's not going to cause a problem, a gap somewhere around down the line, is it? Where it meets another piece matched like that?
No, because the only place it meets is right there.
I gotcha. All right. I'm believing in you, Eric. Or Buck, sorry. Says, I'm using your insurance after. I think he says I'm using your instructions after all. Yes. I think that's what Kenneth meant. Yes, that's my website, my build site.
You know what, Todd?
Yeah.
You should put on there somewhere in there that your instructions make it so easy a caveman could do it.
You want me to go full Geico?
Yeah, go full Geico on it. Yeah, see, here's where I was right here. It was bowing up. And of course, it's right underneath my logo. Up here, this piece was bowing up. Swapping out the screws or the panels like that, it's no longer bowing up.
Excellent.
Which this in the front was bowing up too, I think. So I might swap that out, but I'm not going to do it, not on a live stream. Right now, it's not blocking anything. And truly just to, there. I'll just leave that wing and do the same on the other side. Leave that wing peeled up like that. Remove all this stuff because the bus has got to turn around. Amazing as it might sound, sometimes I think I might need a bigger bench.
I would love a bigger table. I think my table is 2 foot by 4 foot.
I need to do another because it's been probably at least 2, if not 3 years since I did a room video. I need to do a video of the room because then Todd, you will probably hate me. Because I have probably, let's see, 48 on this one because it's 4 foot by 8 foot. So let's round it to 50, 150, probably close to 175 square foot of table space.
And why does it feel like you're on such a small table?
Because I have all kinds of crap everywhere.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
Yes. Well, see, the problem is all my cameras are right here in this same area.
Well, do you have a bigger area that you can move your cameras to?
They're all benches of about the same size as this one. It's just that, and it's actually part of the reason I've decided that this is the year that I'm finishing models, because I've got like 5 models in here that are actually in various stages of not done, which takes up all the table space. Once I get them done and out of the way, I have the table space back.
Sounds like you need some shelves or something.
There's no room. The other problem is this is also my office. I work out of this room. But if I get the Pearl out of here, get it done and out of here. If I get and then the QM2 out of here, the bus will make a lot of room back up. Most importantly, not have any more shelf collapses. That was really ugly.
Thank you, Kenneth. That's why I do them, because sometimes the instructions, the magazines are not that good.
No, they're okay. But like I said, with what I'm doing right now, I'm occasionally looking over at the book. Most of the time, I've just looked at the pictures and away I go.
I like to think I'm a pretty smart person, and if I can't figure it out, other people might have even more trouble. So I try to just write things at the easiest level to make it so anybody can use them.
Kind of like Air Force TOs, written at a 3rd grade level.
Unfortunately, sometimes you have to write the lowest common denominator.
Yeah. And sorry, I threw out an acronym. Nobody's going to know what it is except me. Technical order. Okay, so put the strips on. And then the next roof piece, which means that camera again. But this time I'm running, actually, perfect. I didn't even have to move the bus other than straightening it out. And this one also has the strips that go along the side. But they are straight on both ends. Just because, let me take a look. I don't think there's any numbering on them. Ah, there is. Which means I should have paid attention to which one was M and which one was not on the other ones, because they probably go on one side or the other specifically. Could we make it a little bit more complicated? What would have been funny is if I left all these screws out on the panel in front.
That is so many screws.
It is, but I do believe it's Canon. I think the bus actually has these screws in place.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, or at least rivets.
Yep. Something I meant to do while I was building this, and I never got to it, which would have been another work in progress, is the Revell 124th Routemaster.
Oh, it could have sat there with your little bus.
Yep.
Kenneth thinks you're funny, and Eric thinks you're funny looking.
Yep, exactly. But the problem is, Eric's, when he's looking at me thinking I'm funny looking, he's actually looking in the mirror.
Zing.
Other than the wheels on this, I'm sure they would snap off. You could probably actually ride this bus. I'm sure the rest of the construction would hold my weight.
I'd like to see you try that.
Well, it would snap the wheels off, so no, that's not going to happen. Come on. Yes, I talk to my models.
We just have to accept we're all funny looking. It's all right.
Yes. So, by the way, Katrina mentioned not yesterday, but last weekend. I don't know how we got on the history of the world part 1 discussion last weekend, but she mentioned History of the World part 2 is a series on Netflix.
I heard something about that.
Well, I was disappointed.
Does it have the original cast in it, or is it just basically a trend?
It's different people. I mean, it's got good people in it. It's just that, unlike the movie was a linear story. Same people throughout time, but it told a story that was kind of linear. It was disjointed. Starting out, like, I don't remember exactly, but like, let's say for sake of argument, starting out in the 60s, going to the Spanish Inquisition, then we're into the 70s. It's like, really? And they tried. Maybe it's just I'm older now. I didn't find it funny. There were some things that were funny, but I didn't finish the first show. And I'm not planning on going back.
You know what I think it is for me, the older I get, the less time I want to waste on something stupid.
Yeah.
So, wow, it is way out of focus now. I don't want to spend time watching, getting invested into a show if it's just bad.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I never watched CSI First Run, but I'm loving CSI.
I enjoyed CSI.
And then been watching Yellowstone, which kind of irritated me. Yellowstone is a Paramount show. I have Paramount Plus, but you have to have the Paramount Network instead to be able to watch it. Or Peacock. My wife decided to subscribe to Peacock. It's on there. I'm like, yay.
So you have to get like extra Paramount?
Pardon?
You have to get like extra Paramount? Like just getting the Paramount Plus is not enough?
Right. Paramount Plus is, it's CBS and stuff like that. The Paramount channel is their movie channel. They have one that is not affiliated with CBS, and it's like, really? Why, people? Already paying me $10 a month.
More money. Everybody's going to end up going back to cable because they want to get everything in one place for one bill. Everybody getting all these streaming services. The more that come out, the more people are going to,
Yeah.
You like 2 shows, you have to get 2 different subscriptions to watch those shows. That's just
Well, what's funny is that what a lot of people don't realize is how much of that stuff is available if you have the antenna.
Just watch it for free.
Yeah, except for you have to watch commercials.
Boo.
Every subscription that we have, if it's available for a couple bucks more without commercials, we're paying that couple bucks extra. So I left this screw off on this side. I said screw off. Must be talking about Eric. But I left that screw off on that side, threw the screwdriver on the floor. And what I'm going to do, switch back over to the side camera, do one side panel, and then the other. Where are said side panels? So I'm going to look and see. I'm willing to bet one of these will line up perfect. The other one will not. That one looks pretty perfect. I hate my fingerprints all over the top of the bus because they are. That one looks good too. So you know what's going to happen as soon as I finish this bus, Todd? I'm breaking out the turtle wax.
Of course. Clean it up real nice. And then start on the next one.
Well, clean it up real nice. Put it in the display room. Go back in there and go, holy crap, look at all the dust on that thing. Because, like, the Terminator is on all the time, but I never look at him. I never do anything with him. Just knowing that he's there to keep Eric from going after my stash is enough.
I was thinking about, if I ever did the thing with Josh, Meet the Modeler, I'd have to use the backdrop of my display cabinets because that's where all my stuff is. But it's not necessarily the workshop, right? It's on the living room.
Yeah.
But I can set up a camera and stuff out there. It's not a big deal. But I need to put in a system that lights everything, that powers everything, and lights it all up, and because everything's kind of separate right now. I need to get some USB, power sources and all that stuff, run cords everywhere. And
well, what you do is you build a box, and it's kind of funny because the junction box that I built at one point, I'll let you answer that question from Kenneth. I think it's a Wera, isn't it?
The screwdrivers?
Yep.
The screwdriver used recommends for the Ecto 1, the die-cast model. Yeah, I use the Weras. There's a link on my Ecto 1 site. Go under Getting Started, and there's under the build, there's a Getting Started section, and it has a link to the Weras on Amazon. I love them. I'm using the same set, and I'm 18 part works in. They're great.
Yeah, and I've been just using this generic multi-pointed screwdriver.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yep. So what I was saying is, and it's funny because originally I was supposed to do videos and talk Donnie through how to build one. I never did, never have gotten to that point. But I have this box that I project box that I run a power supply into. I haven't finished it yet, but in California, I had a 12-volt power supply, about 3 amps, goes in one side. On the other side, I've got 6 outlets for models to plug into using the RCA cords or RCA jacks.
Well, I mean, at this point, if I got like a 8 or a 10 port USB hub, powered USB hub that did, at least an amp on each port, that'd be fine. That'd be enough. I just got to put one in each cabinet and run cords all over the place. And I just haven't done it. But I'm sure I'll have to figure that out if I do something with Josh.
Yeah, well, and the nice thing is when you've got something like that with the switches, you can decide to turn off one model. I don't know why you ever would.
Well, some are more obnoxious than others.
Just realized something. Let me pull this out. I almost forgot to put this screw in. And that actually pulls that edge down. I have noticed though.
You already built 2 of them.
Oh, did you? But that's how we met, Donnie. I was gonna walk you through that building one of them things, and I never did.
Slacker.
Uh-huh.
Kenneth says I sell those on eBay and plan to get those. Yeah, they're good. They're good screwdrivers. I believe they're German. German engineering, man.
Yep. So just looking at this. When I tighten that one all the way down, the strip kind of bowed up there. So I'm wondering if I've got it on upside down.
It definitely feels like you have to be wary of how tight you make those.
Yeah. With there being 84,000 screws in this thing, 1 or 2 of them being loose, I don't think is going to matter.
No.
And actually, I think I haven't seen one of these buses in real life, but I think that like the Bluebird buses that we all grew up going to school on.
Oh yeah.
There are some strips on those where you can see if it's a older bus where the strips are actually popping up.
Well, I mean, what are the strips? Are they rain gutters? Or are they just something to cover the seam?
They cover the seam, but what they also are doing is, I'll show you up here in a second, up in the front, after I get this screw in here. See how many people I can make seasick. So right here, see it focus. It actually pulls this top panel down fully against there.
Well, I
That's
guess
why
on the model it's meant to basically cover the seam. I get it, but I mean,
yeah.
It seems like that would be there on the real bus too. And is it the same purpose? Like, is it a riveting strip, something like that?
Something like that.
Meet and they use it to cover the seams between the panels. Because I'm sure this bus, as big as it is, the body, the sheet metal would only be so big.
Yeah. Well, and I'm pretty sure on the real bus, what it's doing is holding those top panels down. Because whoops, almost lost one.
Dave, our encyclopedia of bus knowledge.
He's taking over Eric's job and sleeping. But I'm on the bus itself. These are only half screw holes. I'm sure on the real bus, the sheet metal actually goes all the way down, and then that strip goes over. So let me take a look. That's 900. Yeah, that's for next time. It's actually kind of funny because the next strip down that they have on here actually has the wings hanging out like these are. What I'm going to do is turn this thing over.
Dave says the trim strips cover the joints of the panels. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
And I can see it's bowing out. And what's funny is all this bowing is probably going to clear up by turning this upside down. Ah, not the window.
Don't screw the window.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know if you understood my conversation with myself, Todd.
I seldom do.
I decided I was going to fix this and not start stage 100.
Oh. Well,
stage 100.
As much time as this is taking, I don't see you getting past this stage.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Well, I could have gone ahead with stage 100 instead of doing this, but stage 100 probably would run about a half hour, 45 minutes.
Well, you're already at the hour mark.
Yep. And it's doing these panels and then some more around the edges.
Eric says, should I get you to 3D print a 1/8 scale Goofy to fit behind the wheel of Eleanor? Absolutely.
Yes.
Without a doubt. There's no question. And he can have that face, like the Goofy that we can see on the screen right now. And that's the face he needs to have. And he should be wearing one of Buck's shirts and Buck's pajama pants.
Exactly. Absolutely. Well, you know, the good news is that summer's coming. I won't be wearing pajama pants anymore. I'll be wearing shorts.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing for us?
I'll be wearing shorts.
Okay. Whew. Wasn't sure there.
They only say I stream naked. I never have streamed naked. Maybe without a shirt. One time. They got all excited because at one point there was a nipple shot. But if that excites you from a guy, know what I mean?
Hey, what they used to say in the car business, there's an ass for every seat, Buck.
Yep.
Somebody out there would like it.
Oh, yeah. Actually, there was a female who was watching, and she's like, yay! She started watching more.
That's how you're getting your subscribers. Gotcha.
Gotta get them somehow. Oops.
Don't say that.
I lost a screw.
Oh.
My wife's biggest concern whenever anything gets dropped on the floor in here is that the dogs might eat it. Oh, that's beautiful.
Are they those kind of dogs?
Look at that.
Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah, it was opposite on the before, so it was worth taking this off and flipping it over.
Tony says that's what she said. Yes. Kenneth says he found a set of Ware micro precision screwdriver sets with a rack for $29. Just make sure they are all Phillips heads. PHO, PH1, PH00, and PH00. It's the only 4 sizes you'll ever need.
Even Eric uses Ware screwdriver. I'm just a loser.
I sent him a set. Do I need to send you a set too?
No. If I really want a set, I will buy a set.
Of course, I'd like to see him use them. He says he's going to build the Eleanor. I'm waiting with bated breath.
Well, you know how to avoid that. Don't eat fishing bait.
I see what you did there.
I put the screws away already. Get 2 of them out. Only two. Only 2.
Donnie says that's the set he got. Yes, it's a good set. I think I did get a second PHO size screwdriver. Because I mean, eventually you do chew up the tips, but it takes a long time. I got a spare just in case, but I haven't really needed it yet.
Yeah.
Eric says, wow, LOL. Hey, well deserved, my friend. Well deserved.
Yeah, exactly. This set of screwdrivers, with the apexes and everything, has done me well for a couple of years. I used it all through the Terminator. And what's funny, I see this every now and then. No, it's not that. There's actually a spot on the side that it looks like a bit would fit into.
That's their purpose. That's exactly what it's for. So you have a long handle wrench.
Yeah. Well, I do like the fact that, like on the Terminator, there was a couple of times I needed that really long screwdriver. Let me see. Let me find the right one to turn off. And of course, I turned the wrong one off. That one's glaring in the camera. It's good that I know my lights. Wow, that's just really bright. There. Ambient light from the room and the computer. Ware screwdriver's pretty cool. They work well so far. But Eric, you're using them as pry bars. That's not what they're for. So getting there on the bus, we are 21 stages away from being done. Actually 22, but stage 122 is, or 121 is the stickers that go on the side of the bus, and I'm not going to be doing those. Let me see if I can fix that. Move the white screen over here. Can't help the glare on the glasses. But bus is getting there. Love the way it's looking. Have to say, out of all the builds, this is actually, I may have to try the Eleanor someday, because this is really the easiest one I've ever had.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, the Eleanor's way easier than that bus just by watching you.
It's easier just because it doesn't have as many screws.
No, it's just it's a lot of the stuff I've seen you struggle with, and like those destination blinds and things like that. I have not run into issues like that with the Illinois. Dave says, "Well done, good buck. Another couple of issues done." Gordon says, "Okay, guys, have a good night." Chris said, "Good night, everybody." It's over there. It's late. It's time for bed for them.
Yep. No, it's getting close for me because I get up at 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning. Used to get up at 5, and then I realized I was just putzing around for an hour in the house and no need for it. So appreciate everybody coming by. I'll be on again. I should be on again Wednesday. Wednesday, I will probably work on the bus, the other bus, the VW bus. And we'll work on this again Monday. So like and subscribe. Stop by Hobby Time Modelers on both Facebook, and I know some of you are on YouTube. If you're not, come over there and subscribe. Join us on Friday evenings and Sunday afternoons. We do a live stream, and we will catch you guys later. Have a great one. Have a good day, or have a good evening or day if you're in Australia. Have a great day tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you next time.